I high-key feel bad for Ashanti because not only are you dealing with a man who is not helping you with y'all child, you're dealing with a man who is a complete selfish sellout. I'm from St. Louis. Nelly is a legend. He put St. Louis on the map, but his reputation is completely ruined. There has always been rumors about his character and how he just was not a good person. But I don't know him. But the not helping her change diapers, not waking up in the middle of the night, Ashanti looks over it. She looks so disgusted with that man at this point. And then you try to justify performing at the inauguration for a known racist. Every opportunity is not a good one. I just personally feel like Ashanti doubled back. Her and Nelly had a connection, and she wanted a baby. She felt like she's getting old, and now she's low-key regretting it, and you can see it all over her freaking face. And like her mama said, what he does affects you. His character and you standing behind him for having a whack-ass character is going to trickle down on you, even if you don't agree with it. And this is why choosing who you marry, choosing who you have children with, it's just the most biggest decision that you ever make in your freaking life. I'm praying for my girl.
Ashanti Buki, that man don't like you. And the only reason why he married you was to humble you for leaving him all those years ago. Did you pay the rent? Good. Now let's get into the last episode of Nelly and Ashanti's We Belong Together before their season finale, because this man don't like her, and I think she needs to figure that out. And before we can even get into these clips, I want to hear from y'all in the comments. Do you watch this show? Because I have been watching it, and it is a literal train wreck. First, production, you messy. Now, there's a scene where Ashanti and Nelly and Ja Rule and his wife, I believe her name is Asia, they're all bowling, and Ja Rule asked them, well, where y'all staying at? In a way that Ashanti and Nelly didn't have an answer, and then literally the next scene was temporary apartment. Messy. Now, in a scene prior to that, Nelly and Ashanti go out to lunch, and she's talking to him about basically how he doesn't change the baby's diapers.
Just in the baby, that's a lot. Well, listen, it's all you. I ain't gonna even lie. You know, I ain't got nothing for him. Absolutely not, I know. Until he can say, I'm hungry. Until he can say, I need to use the bathroom. It's going to be a lot easier. But as soon as he started walking, I told him, I said, enjoy. Because as soon as he get to walking and talking, he with the crew. I'm trying to understand, how is it that you sleep through when he starts crying? Do y'all really be up at night?
Too bad. That man don't like you. He don't like you or that baby. Now, the crazy part is after the scene, she calls her cousin, who happens to be her nanny, and the nanny is babysitting their baby, KK. And just check out Nelly's whole disposition as she's on the phone with their child.
Where is my baby? I'm right here. Hi, Mommy. Hey. Oh, Mommy, love you. Why you don't never sound that excited when I call? Hi. You talking? I don't even know why I'm hurt. Me and Nelly broke up a few times.
And you should have stayed broken up. But not at any given time did he ever ask her to turn the phone around so he could see his baby too. Why did nobody else pick up on that? That was strange. Well, the whole episode was a hot mess. There's a portion of the show where the producers ask Nelly, well, did you talk to your wife before you decided to schedule a 1-year tour? And he said, what do you mean, talk to my wife? Like, yeah, talk to your wife. And then the final scene is where Nelly is solidifying whether he's going to perform at the inauguration or not. And while Ashanti's mother, who happens to be her manager, says she's totally against it because her father was a civil rights leader, Ashanti didn't really give her whole point of view, whether she agreed with it or not. She just seemed kind of scared to even voice her own opinion. Now, her mother is explaining to her in that scene, hey, you need to voice your own opinion because I'm your manager. I'm not Nelly's manager. Now, in the season finale, we're going to be able to see the backlash that this couple had received after he had taken the offer to do the inauguration. And no, it's not pretty.
See, the thing about Ashanti and Nelly is that Nelly chased Ashanti until he got what he wanted, and he got her. Now he doesn't have to pretend who he is anymore. Not only that, this is just a perfect example of why marriage counseling needs to be done before two people get together, because you really don't know if that person's for you. And this is another example of a celebrity couple who are not rich enough to hide the flaws in their marriage. I'm a wholehearted believer that there are a lot of couples, a lot of celebrity couples that are very famous, married, but they have enough money to hide all of the cheating, all of the inconsistencies in their marriage and whatnot. They don't have that type of money. In fact, they have to play on that, on the inconsistencies, on the disagreements, on the infidelity, because they actually need the money. And Ashanti settled, and I'm not going to say that he manipulated or gaslight her. She's seen him for what he was. Maybe he pillow talked her a little bit, and she fell right into it. But now she has the man that's been chasing her all this time, and you see it's not all it's cracked up to be. So when somebody does that, I don't care if you met this person when you were 17 and y'all are now 42 years old, you know what I'm saying, 46, there's a reason for one why that man is still single, for one. And number two, there's a reason why that man is chasing you still, because he just wanted the prize. And now that he's gotten the prize, he don't have to pretend anymore. He don't.
Listen, I love my husband, but definitely he gambles, you know, good and bad. He'll send me a video. Dang, I'm down 250,000. What? I'm about to come downstairs. I need to take you away from the table. That's a lot. You know what?
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Huh? Yes.
Look at you.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all paid. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just.
Hey y'all, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny. The Nelly and Ashanti situation is getting out of hand, and it's giving very much Nelly's trying to humble Ashanti for basically spinning the block and giving him another chance, because that's what
I'm gonna say this. Ashanti settled for Nelly. She settled for Nelly because there is absolutely no way that she, Nelly, her mama, or whoever else is gonna sit there and convince me that sis is actually happy being with him, because you're not in a real marriage, or it seems like a real cohesive partnership where both of y'all are doing work in the relationship. In fact, he barely participates in the relationship. He already ran down the rules and explained to her that when she have that baby, I'm not getting up in the middle of the night. I'm not changing Pampers or anything. This is supposed to be your wife. This is her first child. You ain't new to this. She is. And you can't support your wife during postpartum. Make sure she's well rested and getting her rest, because the baby's already going to be attached to her. She's breastfeeding. And you can't get up to check on your child or to change diapers? You could tell that she was bothered in her response when she was like, I just think that's like kind of fucking, you could tell she probably wanted to cuss him out. I think that's kind of whack that you could just sit there and sleep through a crying child and not want to get up and get your own son. That's what she should have said. Nelly is a real piece of work. And it's like the audacity, because this girl settled for you. And I feel like in a way it was because of what people were saying that made her say, well, I'm spinning the block. He's familiar. He's a familiar place. So I'm going to just land here, right? Because y'all was talking about her being in her 40s, living her best life and being child free, like that was failures for her as a woman. Now it makes all the sense when her sister had put out that like cryptic message about how I guess, you know, the pressures of societal norms and like trying to fit into society with a husband and a wife and a that cryptic message her sister put out makes sense now, because now you get to see that this relationship is a mess, and I don't think they're going to make it. This is not going to be an everlasting marriage, because Nelly is about to run that girl into the ground. When I tell y'all, give it a year or two, and Ashanti is going to be looking haggard, because sis already look tired and depleted right now. Then the episode about the inauguration, and you get her mother sitting there talking about how her father was heavy in the civil rights movement and how he got back home to their town and was doing all this work. And it was like he just disregarded all that shit and said, fuck it, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it. And you could tell that Ashanti really didn't want to. And she was like, well, you know, it's different from being a girlfriend. I'm a wife now. And as a wife, I would have looked at my husband and said, you must be outside your motherfucking mind if you think you about to get up there and do that motherfucking racist ass inauguration. Bending to social norms and constructs such as needing to be married, needing to be validated by a man so badly is going to be the death of so many of us. Y'all know that challenge that was just recently going around. It's like every time I think about being in a relationship, I'm reminded of how I looked my last relationship. That's going to be Ashanti. That we are seeing the transformation, y'all. That's going to be, this man is going to drain sis out of all her fucking energy. When we look at how Ashanti was prior to Nelly, badass baddie. Body was tea. Living her best life. Every birthday she said, I spent on an island. My birthdays, I was on an island every birthday. To now, barely making it. Barely being able to get up and get out of bed. Barely wanting to go and do a performance. Just looking tired and ran down. She is in a marriage all by herself. She's married. He isn't. Ashanti is married. Shanti is married. Nelly is not. She need to divorce that man. Ashanti, please, divorce that man while you can. Get out now.
Baby, reality shows is not for everybody. And what I'm about to say about to piss a lot of people off, but oh well, it is what it is. I really wish Shanti and Nelly would have saved their ass off the tizoo. Reason being is that, and I heard that it wasn't Ashanti idea, it was all Nelly's idea, which is typical. I could definitely understand why it would be his idea and not hers. Because for as long as I have known of Ashanti, she's always been a private person. Nelly, on the other hand, I could definitely see why he would want to jump in front of cameras and, you know, put his whole life story out there, because he's done it before with his ex-girlfriend. And I didn't like that reality show. And I damn sure don't like this one. The reason I don't like this one is because I was okay with believing that they had a fairy tale love story. I was okay with that. I wanted to go on the rest of my days knowing that Ashanti and Nelly were made for each other. They were the perfect couple. I wanted to go on believing that. But baby, when I tell you, Nelly has shut that idea down, he shut that down quick. I'm talking about the first episode. Now, I don't know what would possess them or him to feel like it was okay for you to say the things that he say on national TV. Like, so you don't have no feelings. You just don't care about what you say at all, or how you portray your marriage to be. Now, don't get me wrong. I used to always say watching reality shows that a lot of these people, they put on for TV. And I would hope and pray that a lot of the things they do on reality shows are not real. They just put it on for TV for the money and for the views, or to get us talking like we're doing now. But there ain't no way in hell that I would embarrass myself, my spouse, and, just, have people thinking that I'm just this creep and this hard-ass person that I'm not, just for a chick. Like, I just don't understand that. Baby, when they say money is the root of all evil, ooh, Lord. Because, baby, y'all can't explain to me why this man will go on national TV talking about his newborn child like that. I mean, just blankly just coming out saying how you don't want no dealings with this baby until he's able to walk and talk, and you don't change diapers, and talking about when Ashanti asked him, I know you hear him, crying at nighttime, like he be mad loud. And he said, oh, I didn't know that. And she was like, yeah, I'll be up all night. He said, oh, I heard y'all stay up all night. Is that true? And then he had the audacity to say, she asked him, well, how is it that you can sleep when he's crying that loud? He was like, I guess it's a gift. Like, come on, dude. You making yourself sound real stupid. And you too old. Nelly is too damn old for that. When I tell you, I always liked the Nelly, and I thought that he was just a cool, respectable guy. But baby, when I tell you, I do not like Nelly to this day. And I don't think that I ever will, just because of this reality show and how he is playing in Ashanti's face. I do not like him. I don't. He's not even cute to me no more. That's how much he has turned me completely off. I do not like for a man to put on for TV or to put on in front of his friends. Like, I don't like that. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about Ashanti and Nelly new reality show. Baby, when I say I hope that show don't last the first season, hell, to be honest with you, I hope it don't last the first, week or two of episodes. Because, baby, ain't nobody checking for Nelly like that no more. Like, baby, go on make your little coins doing something else. Because this right here, this reality show, this ain't it. Because it's giving deadbeat. It's giving you too old to be acting like that. That's what it's giving. Like, roll the fuck up. You have a child. You have a newborn baby. Ain't nobody tell you to go out there and make all these damn babies. He got 6 kids, I believe. And one with Ashanti. I don't know if Ashanti baby makes 7 or if that makes the 6th child. But regardless of how many children you have, that's her first child. She should be experiencing, you know, being happy with her spouse and their baby, not being shamed and embarrassing on national TV because you done already been there and done that 6 times. And you just ain't excited no more. Like, don't take that excitement away from her. And that's exactly what he doing. And you can tell that she is so much embarrassed of the shit that he say. She'll try to laugh it off. Baby, Ashanti, baby, them fake laughs, you ain't gonna be able to hold that back too much longer. Like, he's giving you all the signs that this is who he is. Now, either you could accept it or your ass can leave it. And if I was you, I'd leave the child. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. All right, let me get back to work.
So, the Breakfast Club interview with Ashanti and Nelly, kind of cringe. Hard to watch, if you will. Like, yeah, it was cringy. To me, from a spiritual standpoint, and I don't mean to get too esoteric on y'all right now, but to me it seems like Nelly is Ashanti's karma. Essentially, like, mainly because, like, let me just explain what I mean. Like, hear me out. Her karma, because of the fact that she waited 20 damn years to decide to marry and have children. She waited well past her prime, because contrary to what modern women want to try to make you think, modern feminists to be exact, want to try to make you think, 45 is not your prime, especially for a woman. Like, that's not our prime. So instead of you doing it in the most optimal years, during that most optimal window of time, from about 21, 22 till about 37, that would be the best window of time. You waited until you was outside of that window. Because on the Breakfast Club interview, he made a point to say that, like, oh, you know, she's used to getting whatever she want, and I had to struggle. He said something to that effect. Okay, so look, that was a very cringy comment, and the reason why I say that is because, to me, it sounds like he's trying to humble her. Like, you want to purposely come in her life and make things tricky or, like, challenging, or I don't even want to say difficult, but just like you want to purposely basically bring her outside her element. And I just think that that's kind of cringy, because why? Like, what if you genuinely love this woman, why would you want to make her life hard, especially when you know she used to life being pretty easy and breezy? Like, why would you want to come in her life and make her life hard? But that's why I say that's Ashanti's karma, because you can't really demand a whole lot as a woman when you decide to marry at 45, especially if you're talking about having a child. Like, at that point, you gotta basically rush it. Like, time is not on your side. Like, time is actually very much so against you. Like, time is already against us as it is, but when you wait that long, it's even more against you. So at that point, she can't demand nothing. And that's unfortunate for my Libra sister. Like, because Libras usually have so much leverage. Like, we usually have so much leverage in our situations. But for her, she dropped the ball because she waited too long. Like, she would have had the leverage that a Libra normally has. But because she waited until she was a grandma, essentially that's what she did. She waited till she was grandma age to decide to go marry and have a baby. Like, I get she was thriving in her career and all that and whatnot, but let's just be honest here. Like, Ashanti ain't been hot shit since she was in her 20s. That's been 20 years at this point. So I'm trying to figure out why she waited till she was 45. Like, and don't y'all dare get in my comments talking about Janet Jackson, because everybody can't be Janet Jackson. Like, everybody cannot be Janet Jackson. And even Janet Jackson ain't giving what it's not like giving what y'all think it's giving, because Janet Jackson didn't even stay with that man that she had that baby with at 50. She didn't even stay with him. Like, so don't try to use her as the exception. We're not going to talk about the exception. We're going to talk about the rule, okay? We're going to talk about the rule. And the rule is that you as a woman need to have a baby and get married. If you're going to do it, you need to do it during the prime optimal years. Do not wait until you're outside that window, because if you do, your chances of getting your knight in shining armor are pretty much slim to none. So yeah.
I told you that Ashanti was settling. I know I be hitting a nerve. Y'all be wanting to just slap the dog out of me. I get it. Because I point out things that just really bother people. Whether y'all want to admit it or not, I have for over the last almost 10 years we've been on this platform, I've called a lot of stuff before I called it. I told you that Ashanti was settling. I told you that, and I was shocked that she even settled. Now, I get that she was getting older and she wanted to have a baby and she wanted to consider who would be a good father and things like that. But at the time when I was saying, no, they're not married, I don't think she's really pregnant, I was getting it from sources, but the real nature of the issue was I just did not think Nelly really loved her, like he said, because the way that he did her the first time, and he got on national TV, just like he got on TV again, and we're gonna talk about it. This is not a dig at Ashanti. I know Ashanti thinks I don't like her. That has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with this piece of shit here. This is the bottom of the barrel, and I don't care. Shout out to St. Louis, I don't give a damn. Nelly is the bottom, as the bottom can get. That is scraping the bottom, and I felt like she went back in the refrigerator for leftovers when she took him back. When he did interviews back in the day and said, I felt like she was getting too clingy, I didn't want what she wanted, I wasn't into her like that. He literally said that, but he was with the girl for years because she was one of the hottest singers back in the day. And my thing is, once you show me who you are, I believe you. And so when they reunited, after he saw that she was still sexy, she was still pretty, and Chantel didn't want him, nobody was out here trying to throw. He had a baby with a girl that was cute in Atlanta right before he got her pregnant. Didn't want to come out in public with her, made her a baby mama. Y'all remember all this? But yet he gets on television to say, after Ashanti told us how he proposed, that the only reason he got married was because he didn't want Ashanti to be a baby mama. Go ahead, Jasmine, roll the receipts.
And your wife's initial reuniting, was it at the Versus?
This is the thing. When I went to Versus, I had somebody with me.
Right.
When I went to
But I'm saying, but you guys shared the stage, and the internet was like,
he had another woman with him when he was at Versus, and it was his baby mother that he never went public with. Let's go. Keep going.
But I'm saying, but you guys shared the stage, and the internet was like, oh shit, they're in the same place at the same time. Like, I didn't want it tense.
Right.
When I walked in, her mother had saw me, and I knew that mom was going to go back and let her know that I was in the building.
Right.
We was here to celebrate with these brothers.
Of course.
Two of my cats,
yep.
Joe and Ja, and to celebrate their music. So I didn't want it tense, and we didn't even talk. I just went over, we got a hug, break the ice, and boom. And we didn't talk for probably another almost 8 to 9 months to a year. We didn't have a conversation. That was that. But everything happens for a reason.
I think that's awesome. I think it's so dope. And by the way, kudos to you guys figuring out how to hide a wedding How hard was that for that not to get out until after it happened?
Well, once we found out that she was pregnant, it was just like, yeah, I didn't want this to be, I don't want to say like
a child out of wedlock.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
you guys were probably already planning, you know.
Well, we hadn't talked about it
right.
yet. We hadn't talked about any of that yet. I hadn't, you know, but I was like, yo, you know what? Let's just knock this out because we're going to be doing so much and everything's moving so fast. And I didn't want to, I didn't want her to be, you know, a baby mama.
Jazzy, remember how bad they dragged me and said I was hating? Maybe it's the way that I deliver my news, but I promise you, I think Ashanti is so much better than this. I think she deserved better. I think she could have pulled the Eve. She really could have pulled a Eve. She could have been over there with all of her family, white, and she's the queen at the end of the table with their money that's gonna be left to her, billions. But instead she went back to Nelly. And having to go grab her purse and put on sunglasses to go bail his ass out of jail for Molly. Pregnant. And you mean to tell me after him reuniting with her, after dating her before and then dating her again, that it took him not wanting her to be a baby mother because it was bad for her brand, and Tasha K was online throwing his ass under the bus, like just really making her look bad. Jasmine, do you have that video of Ashanti? Because y'all dragged me too. Oh no, I'm rubbing it in y'all face. Y'all dragged me too when she came out to say how he proposed.
Things in your life. Not only are you expecting a little one, you're also engaged. Tell me about the proposal. Were you emotional? Were you overjoyed?
It was just such a beautiful, intimate moment. We were not dressy.
What do you think, PJs?
Yeah, I definitely had on like one of his t-shirts and his boxers. It was very, like, I had absolutely no idea.
He completely shocked you?
Completely. I mean, I felt like it was gonna come soon. I didn't know when. Right. And the way that it happened was just so funny. I'm sitting in the bed watching TV with boxers on, you know what I mean? It's not really sexy.
So it was just like an intimate moment, the two of you.
Yeah.
How did you celebrate?
I cried. I gave him the biggest hug and kiss ever. I FaceTimed everyone I know.
Yeah. Was mom in tears again?
Of course.
Yes.
Mom and dad and my sister we were all in the same city. Oh, nice. So that worked out really, really cool. I was overjoyed and shocked and surprised and happy, kind of like all in one.
Beautiful.
Dude reached over in the drawer. Never mind her family being in town. Never mind him hiring an event planner to give her a beautiful proposal. Never mind any of that. We're gonna do this again. Well, I don't need no one need. You living here, you pregnant, bitch, do you want the ring or not? All right, we're doing this. Having a man is better than not having one at all. And definitely having a man with money is better than not having one at all. But Shanti makes her own money. So it ain't nothing that Nelly can give her that she can't give herself. But they do get a bigger bag together because the couple shit sells, especially with them having a reality show so soon. But yet he's still finding time in his spare time to get arrested, and they're finding Molly pills in the car. Your wife was 9 months pregnant. Who you using Molly on?
Are you tired of unreliable phone plans?
Can you hear me now?
What about never having service and having to spend all your hard-earned money on hidden fees? And don't even get me started on the customer service. Surely you tired of phone plans ganging up on you. Get Rockstar Wireless. Say goodbye to big phone bills. Switch to Rockstar Wireless for unlimited talk, text, and data for just $19.99 a month. And never be held down by your phone bill again. Rockstar Wireless has your back. Stay connected with Rockstar Wireless.
When that man said, when you are used to not having shit and you ain't scared to go back to not having shit, baby, Ashanti should have just picked up her little cute ass bag, put that shit on her shoulder, and got the fuck up out of there. Because ain't no way in hell. This is what happens when you are dealing with someone who is used to surviving and, you know, just out of plain out survival, and someone who grew up in love. And not to say that it does not ever work, but it's very rare, because if you all don't have those conversations before y'all walk down the aisle and bring another ass into this world, I swear to God, baby, may this type of love never find any one of my kids. My heart goes out to her, because the look on her face as he was talking, it was like she was trying to keep that, you know, smile on her face and whatnot, but that little bubbly attitude that she always has, that shit is dwindling. Like, her light is dead. I do not like this at all, because, you know, he is continuously in comparison with her in like competition. He's just like, you know, she grew up not wanting, I grew up not having, and, you know, so I literally, you know, she appreciates it, but I literally appreciate everything. So it's just like, so you mad, nigga, you mad at my parents for doing what the fuck they were supposed to do? Like, I'm sorry that your parents didn't do what they were supposed to do. I'm sorry that that happened to you. But all of this money that you got, you ain't went to nobody's couch and healed. See, this is why Bow Wow said that that man ruined his life. This is why it took him until 50 to get married. Like, because this man is out here being a fucking menace. Like, I am so, like, I'm disappointed in myself. But anyways, and he was like, you know, she understands not getting what you want when you want is not the, you know, when you want it is not the norm. No, because here's the thing. My girls know they get what they want because they got a daddy. And that daddy is like, but what you heard, you know, you ain't got to ask nobody for shit. Same thing. Like, my daddy made sure you know, you had to ask how it got here, but I had it. I never had to ask anybody for shit. Like, and this is the thing, you know, when some of these dudes get with these girls who have fantastic fathers, or fathers that are doing what they're supposed to do, or, you know, going above and beyond, y'all. And then he comes with these damn fictitious ass scenarios of, you know, I'll step in front of a train, a bullet. He was like, I'll bust through this brick wall, shorty, for you, you know, but you won't change a motherfucking diaper for an ass that you brought into this goddamn world. That shit is fucking diabolical. Like, and then, you know, everybody was like, no, y'all, they life different, because, you know, he talking about he'll hire nannies. That's why Luke is in the problem that he's in right now. He talking about he paid all that money in child support and don't none of his motherfucking kids like his ass. This is why right here. Real time experience example for y'all to see. Kids need time. Kids crave you. They don't give a shit about none of them bills that we sitting here stressing about and all other stuff. All they want is you, because that's all you know. That's all they know is you. And the fact that, but you got motherfuckers like this, and the fact that he was just like, oh, I ain't got nothing for him until he can walk, talk, and, you know, go to the bathroom and whatnot. So you'll be real fucked up, because all of my kids were walking, talking, and going to the bathroom by themselves by the age of 2, because I ain't play no motherfucking games. But still, I also had the support of the motherfucker who helped me bring them onto this earth. I also had the support of somebody who would get up in the middle of the night when he knew that I just couldn't, and he would take over, or he would just be like, I got this, because that was his kid. Y'all gotta stop this. And then the fact that, you know, there's another scene that I saw where, you know, he was all laughing and giggling with his boys and shit, and when now one of the motherfuckers in that room check his ass. That's the motherfucking problem right there, that y'all better get on y'all homeboys, because this right here, like, whoo, and then this motherfucker had the nerve to talk about some growth and maturity. Is it in the fucking room with you? Because I don't think it is. Like, where is your mama? Because I think she's still Earthside. And lady, have a conversation with this motherfucker. Because, again, the nannies and shit, that shit don't make no, that's her first kid. And she's thinking, oh, I'm going to have this wonderful experience with my husband, because that's how it's supposed to fucking be. But you out here talking about, oh, I'm about to go on the road, I'm about to go do this, and I'm about to go do that. Okay, yeah, I bet you when you come back, these walls gonna fucking echo. Because absolutely not. This is wild. Wild. And like I said, may this type of shit never find any one of my kids, because baby, they already know, even down to the little 6-year-old. What mama say? Don't bring home no bald-headed scallywag mess, because we raised you better than I raised you to be nobody's doormat. I don't give a fuck who it is. This shit right here, whoo! I told y'all I was done with all the Nelly shit, but damn, nigga, you out here like this? This what you do? This is not. Whoo, home a mule, Jesus, home a mule. Lord help me, my teeth is itching. You niggas better get this shit together. Somebody better get hold of that and then be like, hey, yo, homeboy, we need to have a conversation because you too fucking old for this shit.
Why is he offering a woman who's breastfeeding alcohol? So the guy says, do you want the Ashanti special? And he says, give me what she's going to get, but with some vodka. So she's breastfeeding. She hasn't been able to drink for 9 months. I don't know if she drank before that. But her partner is drinking right there while she cannot drink. So they get the drinks.
You want to taste mine?
No, I'm breastfeeding.
Oh. That might be what. Well,
No. Listen, what did we just hear? When the drinks came, she had a non-alcoholic drink and he ordered the same exact drink with vodka. What is the first thing that he does? He tries to get her to drink some of his alcoholic beverage. If she wanted alcohol, would she have ordered alcohol? Do you think that he's unaware that she's breastfeeding? You think he forgot? Why do you think he offered her alcohol? I'm curious, right? Because as a person who spent a great portion of my life as a vegetarian, I can tell you that people would often offer me meat. They would often do it. And it was never for any good reason. It was because they were destroying themselves with what it is that they were eating. And they wanted to mock me by offering me something that they knew that I did not want.
Nelly told Ashanti that he's not leaving St. Louis or changing diapers for an amplitude of reasons prior to marriage. And she accepted it. You know what that means? That means that was okay with her. She may not like it, but she's navigating it as a first-time wife, trusting her husband's leadership for their family, and y'all got a problem with that. Now she's settling. The crazy thing to me is that there's a lot of what I see, unwedded personnels on the internet voicing their opinion about this topic, and I'm like, you don't even have the mindset to even understand what it's like to be in a marriage because you're not married. So how are you going to comment on something that you're not even qualified to comment on? You don't even understand what they got going on. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden she settled because she chose to follow her husband's leadership as a wife.
But yeah, you cannot tell me that Nelly did not tell Ashanti from the very beginning that I am not going to be involved with this child. You cannot tell me he didn't tell her that. You cannot, because if you look at the situation clearly, this man has kids that are already grown. She has none. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. That wouldn't have even been something that I pursued. This man has already had kids. He knows what it's like to deal with having kids. Why would you want to start over and do that shit again? It doesn't matter who the woman is. It doesn't matter who. It could have been Holly Berry. He probably would have did the same shit. Because men think of themselves first, regardless of who the other girl, the person is. And honestly, I don't blame him. If I have grown kids, I'm not starting over with you. I'm not. Now, if you saying that that's okay with you, then I guess. But I probably wouldn't even had the kid if a man said that to me. You should have had somebody, she should have got somebody with no kids that would be evolved and excited as she is. Instead, she settled for Nelly. She settled for him, and now she is unhappy. She is. You can't tell me, because I was seeing some clips and she looked like, it's like y'all didn't talk about shit before y'all had these kids. Now y'all got 2 of them? Are you serious? Like, she should have been doing, if she wanted to deal with Nelly, they should have kept it literally no strings. The fact that she dealt with that man already, went backwards, and then literally locked in him by getting, and this is what we mean about women being delusional. Stop seeing the best in these men. Stop it. Because you are in the end gonna pay the price for it.
Ladies, never ever let a man play in your face twice. So I've been watching the Nelly and Ashanti show they have on Peacock, and woo-wee, I think it is a cute little show, but all I'm seeing is red flags, red flags, red flags, okay? First of all, this man says that he doesn't want to change his son's diapers, and then fixed his mouth to say, I'll give you the world, but I'm not changing no diapers. You know what he's saying? You know what he's really saying? Is that I will not be emotionally available to you. I will give you everything materialistic, but you will not have 100% of me. Now, I'm like Ashanti. I don't necessarily get into politics either, but if you're going to do something that you know is detrimental financially and detrimental to our marriage, and you still go along with it, that's a deal breaker. And then to make fun of her while she's breastfeeding, like at her most vulnerable moments. You know, Nelly is very childish. It seems as though he can only deal with her when he's embarrassing her and making fun of her. And that's what I've been noticing lately. Like, all he's been doing is just saying things to just embarrass her. And I know, we live in a world where all of that is cute and all that is fun, but it's nothing funny about your partner belittling you, especially in your most vulnerable moment when you're breastfeeding to feed y'all's baby. You have to be very careful when you decide to go back to your exes. It's all cute and lovey-dovey and y'all rekindling, but he's going to reveal himself. He's going to reveal himself eventually, and he's going to remind you of why you left him in the first place. By that time, it's worse, because now he knows that you will tolerate anything. It's going to be 10 times worse than before. Let me just tell y'all, he ain't sleep. He is not sleeping through that baby crying. He is under the covers with his eye poking out, wondering if she's going to get her ass up and go feed their baby. Ain't nobody sleep through all of that. Stop it. All I'm going to say is I hope they don't come with a season 2. Might be worse. Ashanti girl, we love you. Don't let that man rain on you. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.
I knew I wasn't wrong for saying that Ashanti should not have gotten back with Nelly, because look, that man is embarrassing her already. Not only do he leave for months on end, okay, and leave her to take care of a newborn by herself, but he also said that it's a blessing that he's able to sleep through his son crying in the middle of the night. He said that he told her before she decided to kick him under the table that he will not be helping with the diaper changes. He's basically sticking to the traditional marriage and just providing, but he said that as soon as the baby starts walking and talking and communicating what he needs and what he wants, that's when he's going to step in. That lady is a married single mother, and I don't like that for her, but girl, he showed you who the fuck he was. Why would you want to still be with him? Could never, ever, ever be me, because if I was abortionable weeks pregnant, I would have left that man and I would have sent that baby. This man is a walking red flag, and I hate that she gave him a child. Mind you, this is her first child. So not only is he a neglectful dad, he's also a Trump supporter, okay? And he's also allegedly a cheater. I would have left that man so fast his fucking head would have spin.
So this is my first night back after being off for the last 3 nights. And so when I was off, I wound up watching the Nelly and Ashanti show, We Belong Together. And so when I initially started watching the show, I'm thinking, okay, what type of drama are they going to manufacture for this show? And I have to say I was quite surprised because, and this is just my review of the show and just the things that stuck out to me in watching the show, because I watched all 8 of the episodes. And I have to say that the more Nelly talked, the worse he looked. The more Nelly talked, the more of a narcissist that he looked. Initially, the first time that he made a comment about the baby, about being jealous of the baby, I just kind of brushed it off. But he just kept saying it over and over and over again. And by the second time he said it, I wholeheartedly believe it, because I was just like, okay, you're used to being the center of attention. You're used to having all eyes on you. So now you have a whole nother life that is requiring your wife's attention, and you don't like that. That was a little weird to me. This is a full-grown man, and this is not your first child. This is child number 5. You should kind of be used to this by now. You should be used to them being the center of your wife's universe, especially with that being your wife's first child, which leads me to my other point. The fact that this man sat up there and said that he did not want to have anything to do with that baby until it could walk and talk, that says a lot. And that said a lot. And then notice that he also said that once the baby starts to walk and talk, he's going to take the baby with him. But up until then, he want nothing to do with the baby. It's not my place to say that Ashanti settled because I don't know what her wants and her desires were. But to me, watching the show, it seemed to me like this woman wanted to have a family with someone that she loved. Not somebody that she was necessarily compatible with. There's a big difference. Because I doubt that they'll be coming back for a second season, because looking at Ashanti's body language and the way that she looked at him when he would be saying certain things, it's not looking like they're gonna last. And another thing that stuck out to me was when he decided to go perform for Trump. And the way that it looked on the show, it didn't look like he gave Ashanti's opinion any type of consideration before he decided to go perform for Trump. And for him to sit up there in front of this woman and think that it was not going to have a backlash on her was completely BS. Those are just my opinions. I'm just a respiratory therapist, but those are just my opinions on the Ashanti and Nelly show, We Belong Together. That's it. That's all. Bye.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Nelly and Ashanti's new reality TV show is low-key giving T.I. and Tiny without the chaos and without the scandal. Ashanti may be the new Tiny, but just with a little bit more freedom. The only difference in this situation is that Ashanti can move with her baby, but Tiny couldn't. Ashanti is a new mom and a new wife, and naturally she wants to be closer to her support system, which is in New York. But Nelly is not budging, and that is causing the tension. And I really do think that she thought that he would have a change of heart once they got married and the baby came along. Now let's rewind it back, because remember, T.I. did not want Tiny to travel. He wanted her to be a traditional stay-at-home wife.
If I'm out working and you out working, who
well,
gonna be here with them?
I'm gonna have, she going with me.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, that's
Hell no.
definite, but I'm not gonna be without her.
Well, you need to stay home then. It's best for her to be in a stable place where she can wake up at a certain time, eat at a certain time, play at a certain time, go to bed at a certain time. Man, I'm telling you, you don't want no trouble out of me now. I'm gonna shut the whole thing down.
And just like T.I., Nelly is still booked and still busy. And he is not the one that has to compromise his schedule and make sure that things are in order.
Well, listen, it's all you. I ain't gonna even lie.
I'm nervous a little bit.
KK's first tour. Well, you got help. You got T-Ma. You got Bree.
I mean, and it's not only that, it's because you're going a lot. You're going a lot.
With me still being on the road, we both agreed that being up here probably would be the best thing, since our whole support system is up here with mom and everything.
But I made it very clear, even before KK, before the I do's, before everything, how I felt. My business is in St. Louis, it's my office, what I do, my vibe, my connections, and I don't think the Hayneses will be setting up shop like that in New York.
I'm not saying that these men are the same, but the tension between motherhood, careers, and marriage are all the same. The real question is Ashanti adapting, or is she just slowly compromising? Because on the outside looking in, this is way too familiar.
So I just saw Nelly and Ashanti on the Breakfast Club, I think, and he said that he grew up with nothing, she grew up wanting nothing, basically comparing their childhood. And baby, when I tell you, those will be the men that is coming into your life solely to humble you, baby. Yes, he's going to make it seem as if he loves you so much in the love bombing phase, you might fuck around and believe it. And as soon as y'all fuck around and have a child, he will start to compare his childhood and tell you the reason why he won't help you with those kids and all the things like that is because he ain't never seen a man do it for his mama and all of the shit like that. They'll try to make your life seem hard. See, that's why he don't want Ashanti to move to New York, because he know that she will have the help that he's not giving her on purpose. He know that her mama gonna step. He know that whatever's gonna needs to happen is gonna happen, because in the Ashanti world, like he said, she's the alpha. You supposed to protect the alpha because the alpha bring home everything. He simply wants that lady to not have nothing and need him for everything, so that she could understand that she's beneath him. She's humble. She needs to be who he says she is, and that's that. Nothing more, nothing less. Lady is to be seen, not heard type shit. No, Ashanti, if you don't do nothing else, girl, you need to motherfucking leave, because it is no way you're gonna let motherfucking Andale play with you like that.
Why is it that women who have both their parents in their life still end up with a man that embarrasses her? I.e. Ashanti, Keke Palmer. I said about 2 years ago that Ashanti should have never gone back to Nelly. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like women who have seen both of their parents together their entire life lack a certain discernment to recognize a dusty man, because a lot of them are ending up in the same predicament as those of us who were raised in a single parent household. And those aunties like myself who tried to warn y'all that those men are dusty, we're called haters, we're said that we're miserable, and that we're projecting. Even Wendy Williams said never give a man a second chance to embarrass you. And the reason why I said that Ashanti shouldn't have gone back to Nelly was because she was in a vulnerable position. She has had an amazing career. She was close to her 40s or in her 40s without a kid. And she pretty much was living her best life traveling from island to island. And Nelly knew exactly what he was doing when he crossed that stage at that Versus to go hug her. And with social media, it just made it easy for him to get back into her life.
That boy Nelly said, look, Ashanti, I love you. You're my wife. We're having a child together. This is amazing. I love my family. But until that child can walk and talk, you're going to be a single mother. The boy said, I ain't feeding it. I ain't changing no diapers. I ain't holding it when it's crying. I ain't waking up out my sleep when it's crying. It is all you. Until that baby can tell me, Dad, I'm hungry. Dad, I need to go to the bathroom. Dad, I want to go shoot basketball. I don't want nothing to do with it. Now, I love you, and I love the baby, but I'm not helping with nothing. You're a single mother for the next 3 years, okay? That's just what it is. But I love you. But I love you, and I love our child, okay? Okay, I wouldn't have it any other way. But that baby is all you. 3 years, all you. I don't want nothing to do with that baby until they can hang out, okay? So I can vocally hear what's right or wrong with that baby, all right? But I love you. Don't you forget, I love you, and I love that baby. But you just enjoy single motherhood for the first 3 years. But I love you. But I love you.
So Nelly and Ashanti show came out, and I told myself that I was not going to watch it simply because I'm not supporting Nelly. He's not getting a motherfucking view out of me. However, I have been seeing clips of the show, and I have seen the clips of them having a conversation about him performing at the inauguration. Him and Ashanti are sitting down. He's basically trying to justify why he's performing at the inauguration. He said that if this was like a campaign trail and he was campaigning, he wouldn't be there to support him. But because he is the president and he respects the office, he feels like he wants to do it, even though the motherfucking office don't respect him. And Ashanti is visibly not okay with him making this decision. However, she's just sitting there being very passive. I don't know if she did that because she was on camera or if she actually cussed him out when the cameras went down. I feel as though there should have been a lot more said in this conversation. She should have made it very clear that she does not support his decision, but she does support her husband. I think that she should have made that very clear, especially given the fact that her mother was just saying how her father was a civil rights leader or activist or whatever. Watching this made me realize that maybe marriage is not for me because I will go get a divorce at any small inconvenience. Like, if that was me sitting there having a conversation with my husband, I would have been on my phone Googling divorce attorneys. Because, like, what the fuck do you mean you're about to perform for a racist? Like, I'm sorry, absolutely not. I'm not supporting that. I will not stand by your side while you do that bullshit. I know if I get married, I'm going to be pulling out the fucking divorce card like it's a goddamn draw 4. Because the moment that you decide to make a decision that clearly affects the both of us, I'm out. Especially when it comes to things like politics and motherfucking basic human rights. Like, I really don't understand how people can say that they're embarrassed to get divorced or how divorce is just not an option. Divorce is always an option. Like, I just don't understand how you can be married and not realize that your decisions affect your partner as well. I specifically just said that I was not watching the show specifically because Nelly performed at the inauguration. So by you making that choice, I'm not watching your fucking show. That affects Ashanti.
I think one thing that people are not pointing out about the Nelly and Ashanti show is that when people are done raising kids, they feel like they're done raising kids. I'll give you another example. Sofia Vergara did not want to divorce her husband, but she didn't have a choice because she was done raising kids. Her son was in his 30s and he wanted her to start over and have a newborn. She was in her 40s. She's like, I'm not willing to do that. I don't want to start over. I've already raised my son. I'm ready for grandkids. I'm not ready for more kids. Nelly is 50, and I'm not saying he's right or wrong. Like, there's really no, it is what it is, but he's done raising kids. And I think he loves Ashanti in his own way, and he knew she wanted to be a mother, so they decided to have a baby together with the understanding that he was not going to be hands-on. And since she is a first-time mom, it's easy to agree to stuff like that until the baby gets here. And then it's like, whoa, this is hard. Like, even with nannies, it's hard. You want the father to be present. You want the father to be hands-on. Not just men that feel this way. There's women too. It's all type of people that's just like, I don't want to start over. My kids are grown. I don't want to start over with the potty training and the diapers and the learning how to walk and talk. I don't want to do that all over. It's hard. It's hard work. And it's a commitment. And I just don't think she realized probably what she was signing up for. So those are my thoughts.
And a lot of men do this, where they will try to humble you, especially when they see you in your bag. You are literally living your best life, because that's what Ashanti was doing. She was on the yacht in a thong, shaking her ass with her friends, right? Every picture I ever saw of her, she was on vacation. I was like, yes, girl, I'm living for you. Yes, I love it. And she was looking snatch, right? And this man had whatever he had going on with the UGG issues and the allegations on the tour bus and all these things. And in my opinion, just like everybody else is saying, that this man only got into the relationship for his image, and he's only thinking about himself, because you can tell how her light, her beauty, everything is being drained out of her. And you can tell, just like everybody is saying, that she's basically a married single mom. And this is the perfect example of that. Because what do you mean? You want nothing to do with your child until your child can physically tell you what's wrong with them. I know he has other children, and I'm pretty sure, because he didn't just wake up and be like this, okay? I'm pretty sure his other children, now we don't know, but his other children was probably the same way. It was probably like, oh, I'm on the road, I can be there for them, but I can provide. And I get that, yes, you know, sometimes it's hard to find both. A man who can provide and also be there physically, right? But also, and there's so many ways to really look at this, because she wants to move to New York, to be with her family in New York, so she can have the support system that she need when he's on the road. But he also wants to stay in Louisiana. Is it Louisiana? I was dating a guy that was from there, St. Louis. No, he was from Missouri. Apparently there's two different places, but even though they're very, very close. Anyways, so Missouri or St. Louis, he's from St. Louis, and in my opinion, he is big over in St. Louis, and he has a lot of money. So I understand why he would want to stay in St. Louis, because majority of his money probably came from St. Louis, you know, the fans there, because that's where he's from. People adore him over there and all that stuff. So in New York, it'd be a completely different story for him moving to New York as an artist who is not really a New York based artist. But if you're an artist and your thing is stream wherever, I guess being wherever, it really doesn't matter where you are, because your thing is online anyway. It's not like physical. You can always travel to St. Louis. But also I get where Ashanti's coming from, where she needs extra help. So she needs people, which is her village, her family, her mom, her cousins, you know, auntie and all that stuff. If that's where she grew up, majority of the people are there, where she can get the help, especially if she's not getting it from the own father of the son, you know. So she needs to go where she can get the help. And if they cannot compromise this, you know, because I feel like that's one of the things in their marriage, other than him performing for our now current president, which when Chris and Michelle did it, she got so much backlash. When this man did it, in my opinion, he is trying to sway the heart of the black community again, because we love Ashanti. And I've never heard anything bad about Ashanti. No one really talked bad about her or anything like that, because she's just a non-problematic person. So we love her. So he got with her knowing that it's going to benefit him in the long run. And I say this all the time. A lot of men will not abandon their career to move to a different country or a different place for their girl, but the girl always have to end up be the one to move her whole life for a man. And it doesn't always happen like that, because I have seen in some cases where the men end up, you know, deciding to move for the girl and all that, but it's very slim to none when you see that happen, where the man will leave his career, his friends, his family and all that stuff to move to a different town for a woman. And I've never seen it. I mean, there's some situation where it does happen, but it's very unlikely that a man will do that. And in this situation, I just don't see this relationship lasting that long, because one, he doesn't really listen to her. he doesn't really take her advice on anything. He doesn't consider her opinions, because if he did, he would have never sing at the, you know, presidential election thing, because he really wanted the clout, and he got the clout, right? But the backlash was not that great, and I think he's hiding behind Ashanti when it comes to the whole backlash with the whole performance thing. But even though when he was deciding, he didn't care for her opinions, you know? So in my opinion, this whole thing, it's like too much going on. Yes, he don't want to move because he's making more money over there, and he apparently has more money than Ashanti based on his career and, you know, the accolades and all that stuff that he basically, he invests well, so he has money. So in my opinion, Ashanti can hire you know, helpers to help her, because clearly now she's stuck in this situation where she's with a man who most likely might have told her, hey, I don't want any kids, but since you want it, we're going to have those kids, and in return is going to gain us a new TV show. And also, you know, it's beneficial. The relationship is beneficial because now they have a TV show. People are watching it to criticize, you know, because that's what we're doing, criticizing. But also it's not beneficial in a way because people are seeing right through all the red flags and everything. So it's making Ashanti look bad. And you can tell that she's very, like, she's not at ease. For someone who has just had a baby, and for him to say, hey, I didn't want to make her a baby mom, so that is the reason why I married her, which lets me know he probably didn't even want to be married, but because she wanted a child and he wanted to be with her because he saw this opportunity and he wanted to grab onto it, so therefore he got with her and gave her what she really wanted, which was marriage and also a child. But he completely removed himself from that situation because he says, I gave you what you wanted. I still want the kid. Doesn't mean I don't love the child, but I also don't want anything to do with the whole process of it being a baby and getting to a certain age, because it's a whole process. You can't skip all these other ages and say, hey, I only want to deal with my son when he's like 5 and when he can tell me he's hungry or when he tell me he needs to use the bathroom. It's a whole process, and it tends to be a lot of people, a lot of men, not all, does this, where they don't want nothing to do with the child while they're growing up, but then when they get to a certain stage in their life, when they are more stable and or you know they have a career where they can help the family, that's when the dad wants to come back in the picture. Meanwhile, the mom was there the whole time, and all of a sudden now you want to decide, oh, I want to be in my son's life. Maybe when you're going through like your last stage of life, you're about to die or something, you decide to be in your son's life. And or like Nelly, you wait until the child is able to express himself, that's when you want to be. But you still need to, you can't miss all these other stages of the child life and then just want to deal with them around this time. Meanwhile, the mom, just like, that's why they say like mom is father's baby, father's baby, mother's baby. So the mother always has the responsibility of always being there no matter what. She has no choice. Imagine you spend all these times, you book up with the person, and then you give them a second chance, and then they try to humble you. Oh, men are so interesting. They're very interesting creatures, I have to say. But then again, I believe the red flags were there, and I think Ashanti was in love and she missed the red flags. And in my opinion, and these are all my opinions, so don't come for me if you don't agree with what I'm saying, but this is my opinion, where now Ashanti is basically a single baby moms, married baby moms, and she's doing it all by herself. And in my opinion, with the whole civil rights situation, he did not care about her opinions, not one bit, because she was like talking to her mom about it, and she's like, you know, he's thinking about it, and he came and said, I don't care what you say or do, I'm doing it. Because the money's good. The money was good, so he decided, because all he's thinking about is his image and the money, and that's really what it is. However you look at it, that's all it is. And I think with Ashanti, she probably felt the pressure of society telling her that, you know, she should be married, she should have a child by now, so she settled. And in my opinion, now she is dealing with the consequences of settling. And a lot of people, a lot of women in this world, not all, do deal with stuff like this, where people, their friends, their family, subliminally making, saying little comments here and there about, oh, you're this age and you're not married, or you're this age, you don't have a boyfriend, or you're this and you're that, you don't have a boyfriend, as if like this, like the end all be all of it all. And then, you feel like you have to go and find someone to be with, and then you're stuck in a situation where you don't want to be there, but you want to save face. It's just a whole, it's a whole mess, because that's this recipe for disaster, because you rush into things not really judging the character of the person, and then just doing it because to save face, or to just say that I did it, and then you end up in a situation, a shitty situation, and you're the one that has to deal with that person 24/7. You go home with them, you have to sleep next to them, you have to deal with them 24/7. Meanwhile, the people who are pushing you to go and get them, they don't have to deal with it. And then when you bring your problems to them, it's too much. Now it's too much. But you were the one pushing me. Not saying that people can make you do things, but a lot of times it's like subliminally you do it, although you don't want to do it for people, but